Shalom, greetings. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to my faithful subscribers. Welcome back. And to my new subscribers, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Karibu Sana, Karibuni. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to view my channel. Please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. Hit on the notification bell so you'll be notified. So whenever I do a new video or a live, you will be notified. So family, I'm monetized now. So do me a favor and watch those ads. Watch the ads. I need that change. I need that change, y'all. Yeah. So it's just extra that I was not anticipating because I kept getting denied and denied, 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 denied. And finally, they accepted. So me into the program. So wonderful. All praises to the Most High. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm grateful for that. And so I decided to come to you today. I said I was going to do a video more often since I'm monetized now. Yeah, I got to work, family. I got to try to work, but I just got to think of things to talk about. But I wanted to talk about this specific subject right now today. And I will be doing more videos outdoors when the rainy season is gone. It's still rainy season, and it's always an overcast in the sky. So that even when the sun comes out, it'll be very clear here in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And then all of a sudden there'll be an overcast, and and then it'll rain. So I don't want to be like caught out there in the rain. So I'll have to wait until rainy season has come and gone, and then I will start doing my videos outside so you can see like the nature outdoor. You can hear the birds. And so, yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to view my content and to view my channel. So today I wanted to talk about how I would be able, actually, I want to talk about that I would not be able to survive in America at this time. I myself could have been one that was fired from my job because I worked for Ford Motor Credit Company, and I worked for the finance company. So I used to finance cars, and I used to also repossess cars. I didn't like that part because I'm very compassionate, and that part really, it really took me a long time to be able to really um, uh, do that, to really be able to have the courage to take somebody's vehicle. Like, yeah, because I know how hard it is for my people, and it was so hard for me. I used to get talked to all the time. My supervisors like constantly talking to me. Every time I had reviews, they were constantly talking to me. You're too nice. You have to toughen up. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I used to do that. And I'm gonna do a video one day and talk about my job and what I used to do and the experiences that I had working for Ford Motor Credit Finance Company. And I used to finance vehicles. We would finance whole showroom floors for dealerships. And so those showroom floors would be like $1 million project. But we used to finance those cars. And so, yeah, and so I have a lot of experience in that arena, and I want to share it with you, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow or the next day. But this one I wanted to talk about. I'm seeing people getting laid off in America, and I want to tell you, family, I am so, so grateful and happy that I did leave America when I did. Back in July of 2020, I left America to come to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Actually, initially, I was going to go to South Africa, but because of COVID, all the countries were closed except for Tanzania. So I ended up coming to Tanzania, which a lot of us did. It was like the default country, the only one that was open. So I ended up coming here, and I haven't left. I have not left, family. I fell in love with Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And so, yeah, so I've been here since, but I know that the company a lot of the big Fortune 500 companies are laying off. And so I could have been one of those ones on the chopping block to get laid off, because where I worked I used to live, I was working in the one in Colorado Springs. And so where I worked, it was not a lot of us there. It was not a lot of us at that one. So I know, my name would have been at the top of the list. Chop. hit the chop on the chopping block, right, I would have been at the top of the list, because I just know I would have. So I'm glad that I left when I did, and I willingly retired. I retired in December of 2020. So I got here in July of 2020, and then I retired. I quit basically. I quit in July of 2020. And what was a blessing for me, and I did not think about this, which don't do like I did, y'all. I didn't think about this, but I know that I had a desire and a calling to be here. So when I quit, I had a 401k, which was like 25,000. And I didn't even think about that when I quit. And then they asked me, the benefits asked me, do you want to roll it over into another a Roth IRA, or do you want to take an distribution? And they were letting us do that. Normally, I wouldn't have been able to take a distribution. I would have had to like buy a house or something like that, and then they would have gave me the money for that. But because of COVID, they were allowing people to do early distributions, and that's what I was able to do. So yeah, I was really I didn't even anticipate that, but that was a blessing because it was right on time, because I was able to. I already had a little bit saved, but this was more savings, and then I was able to find a place and get furniture. I was able to finance it, just get everything that I needed done. I was able to create a company. I was able to get a place. I was able to pay up my rent for year, but I was paying 6 months at a time. So I was able to pay my rent, buy all new furniture, create a company, and I was able to just do everything that I needed to do to get myself situated, because I knew that I wanted to stay here. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject of me not being able to survive in America at this point. I know that I would have been struggling because I was by myself at the time, single parent, with my son, and he was in. At the time, he was just graduated, so he was finished school when I came here. He was 21 when I came here, and actually, when I came here, I had two tickets. I had one for me and one for him, but because he's grown now, he wasn't. He was like out of school, so even though I wanted him to come, and one of the main reasons that I decided to come and leave America, one of the main reasons I decided to leave America was because of my son, because I didn't feel safe for him. I didn't feel that America was safe for him, and I was so worried about him all the time, and still am praying for him. I'm not as worried as I was, but I'm praying for him that he would like be safe, make wise decisions, and be around the right people. I'm praying for that. But at the time, I was thinking I got to get out of this country because I got to save my son. That was like my main motivation. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't really have problems, but I knew that the young men were like the prime targets at that time. And so I was trying to basically save him and come here. So I had two tickets, and he decided that he didn't want to come. So he made me lose my money, made me waste, because I had a round trip ticket for both of us. So I got round trip tickets, and he made me lose my money, y'all. Yeah, I was not happy, but I was more sad than not happy because I didn't want to leave him. I was like, I'm leaving to save your life, and you want to stay. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for you so you can have a better life. You can live in peace. No, it was kind of uncertain about how we were going to make it. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. I didn't. I was kind of spontaneous, but I knew that spiritually, I heard the calling back in 2019. I went to Ghana during a year of return, and I stayed for 2 weeks. And I fell in love with Ghana, and I was thinking, I'm coming back to Africa to live. I just don't know when and how. So when I went to Ghana, I was under the impression and thinking I was going to move to Ghana because I just loved it so much after staying for 2 weeks. So I went back to U.S. and then I worked. And then I was like at work just thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to set this up and this and that. My plan was to go to South Africa because in Pretoria, they have a Ford Motor company there, and they make the Ford Rangers. So I was going to, my plan was to transfer. And this video is kind of getting off of what I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to keep rolling. My plan was to go to South Africa and go to the Ford Motor Company, the plant, and see if they would allow me to work there, and kind of transfer, because I was already working. I was an employee in the U.S., but I was working in the finance. I was working in the Ford Motor Credit, the finance part of the Ford, not the vehicle part. But I did work for the vehicle part when I first graduated from college at like 24, I think it was 24, 25. I got on at Ford, and I was working on the assembly line in the plant. And the reason I accepted it, because it was good, was making 40,000, and I was like fresh out of college, probably 40,000 a year, and that was good for a fresh out of college person. So I got the job, and I knew I didn't want to be like working in the warehouse forever, but my goal was to move up in the company because I had a bachelor's degree, right? So I was not able to move up because at the time I was in the South. And in the South, it was like the system was like the good old boy system. So, they kept those higher positions for their own people. So even though I was applying and applying and applying, nothing ever came through for me. I had a degree and I had experience working in the plant, but they just never allowed me the opportunity to move up into the office. So after 5 years, it didn't, it didn't work out because I was not happy being there. And I was the money was good, but my body was tired. And I had just had my son. I had my son while I was there, and I was out for like 6 weeks. And when I came back to work, just my body was just tired. All that standing and all that, you know, I didn't do heavy lifting, but I did a lot of moving with my fingers, and I worked on the door line. So when the doors would come down the assembly line, I would plug in like screws, or I had like a little screw wrench, a little screwdriver, like zip, zip, all those little tools that I would use to screw in screws and push in wires and twist. I was doing all kind of things with my fingers, right? So nothing heavy, but a lot of manipulation with my fingers and my arms. And so at the end of doing that for 8 hours, right? But have breaks, but my fingers and my wrists start getting real weak, almost borderline in carpal tunnel. But it didn't get to that point because I ended up leaving the company before that happened. But my hands used to get numb, like they used to throb. Like when I slept, if I slept on them like the wrong way, then my fingers used to throb. Just used to kind of ache. And so I think I was on the borderline of maybe getting carpal tunnel, but I left the company right on time. So after 5 years, I ended up leaving, but I was vested in the company, which is a good thing, that I would have like a pension there. So fast forward to Colorado, fast forward to me quitting. And when I came out here, I quit. And then that's when I got the 401k, and I was able to do everything I did. I was able to set up everything for the business and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I did. But I know that if I would have stayed, it probably would have impacted me. And I'm so glad that I didn't like buy a house there, because I was considering doing that. And because I was at a point where I could have done that, but I was trying to think critically, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't know where I want to live, because I knew I didn't want to stay in Colorado because it's too cold. So I was thinking about moving back to Atlanta, because I'm from New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, moved to Georgia, Atlanta, and then I moved to Colorado. And I was thinking about going back towards the South because it was warmer and it's less expensive. But then I just didn't know. I was just not sure. And then that's when I came into the knowledge of truth of who I am, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelite faith, and that I woke up to who I really am in the biblical scriptures. So that changed everything for me. I realized that I realized a lot of things, but I decided, as I was praying and trying to figure out what to do and where to go, where to move, because I had the opportunity to buy a house and I was super excited. But then I was thinking, I don't know if I want to do that in Colorado. I was going to get like a townhouse, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I was just so confused. So I had to pray. Anyway, I decided I'm leaving because I just had this desire to move to Africa. And I did, if you look at some of my videos, I heard a voice, and I feel like it was the Father speaking to me, telling me, you know, America is not your home. This is not where you're from. You are from Africa. And so thus my journey of trying to move back to the continent. And so I'm here. And so, yeah. And so I know that if I would have stayed in the US, that things may not have been going right for me. I could have been like some of the other like people living out of their vans, living out of their cars. It's hard there from based on what I'm seeing on videos. People are losing jobs, people are losing homes and living out of cars and vans. Like, I don't want to have to live. I never lived like that, and I'm glad that I don't have to live like that, because I'm just grateful that I'm here. I mean, that's all I have to say. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, you already know it's a struggle over there, and it's a struggle here too. So it's a struggle, but when I look back on it, hindsight 2020, I'm glad that I did make the decision to relocate to Africa, because I could have been one of those ones that lost a job, lost the house, and living out of my car, and trying to figure out how to make it, because I was a single parent at the time, and so my son was living with me, and we both would have been, I'm just grateful that I'm here, because I feel like I've been really blessed to have been here for 5 years in July this year. It hasn't been perfect, but I'm grateful because I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I haven't been hungry. I have everything that I need. I'm not like wanting for anything. Um, I don't have all the conveniences that I am accustomed to. We do have the power out sometimes, but all these things are manageable for me. It's something that I had to adjust to and get used to, but it's manageable for me now because I've been here. Electricity or power, we call it. Electricity might go out. It could be out for hours. Like, I think it was yesterday. It went out early, and it was out all the way up until it was out for a couple of hours, y'all. And what I did was I just went to grocery shopping. So I think of things that I need to do when electricity goes out, because when electricity is on, I'm on the computer, on my phone, doing stuff. But when the electricity goes out, it's almost like downtime for you, where you can do things that you kind of put off and that maybe you needed to do, but you didn't do. So that is how I take the downtime or the power out times, especially if it's during the day. At night, that's different, because at night you're in the bed, you're sleeping, right? Or at night you can just go to bed. But during the day, it's a perfect opportunity for me to get things done that I've been procrastinating doing, or sitting around on this computer on YouTube watching videos, because I don't have a TV. So YouTube is like what I do. I watch videos and stuff like that. So, yeah, I could be doing things. So when the electricity went out yesterday, I got a lot accomplished. I was able to go around dusting, and I mopped all my floors. And what was else? I was just doing things that I should have needed to do, that I needed to do. So sometimes I, get up on a chair and I dust my fans, because they get really, really dusty. It's dusty here. And so you'll get like a layer of dust on top of your fan. So I have a duster that I brought. I was using I have a broom and a dustpan. So I was getting up there and sweeping the dust in the dustpan, but now I got a duster. And so now I just, dust all my, fans off. So it's like things that I really needed to do, y'all. And I was kind of like not doing them, because I'm like on the computer and doing things, and see, also market my business online. So I have Dice Working LLC here in Tanzania, and I market that. And so I market that I'm on 3 platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I cannot handle Twitter and what's the other one? The other popular one. It's failing me. TikTok. I can't handle. I can't handle those, y'all. People keep saying you should get on TikTok. I can't handle it. I already got 3 that I'm trying to juggle, and it's like I'm constantly, you know, uh, like trying to look at these things and post. Like it could be a lot, and I'm just trying to focus on those 3, because I don't want to diversify that much because I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I can easily feel overwhelmed. So I need to keep it to where it's manageable for me. And y'all got to remember I'm middle aged. So the Gen Xers, Gen Zers, they're like with the technology and they own it and this and that, like my son. But me, I'm a Gen Xer. And yeah, I'm slow with learning stuff. Even with the, a lot of the stuff online with all the fancy stuff that people do in their videos and all the intros and all this. I have all this access to like CapCut and Canva, but it's still not. I'm trying to do it and it's not coming together, and I'm not making a big deal about it because I'm not paying somebody to do it. So what people get is what I can provide. What people get is what I can do myself. And then I will work up to and build up to being more fancy if that's something I choose to be. But the whole time I've had this channel, I consider myself as a reality TV type of person where it's no editing. I don't really do a lot of editing, and I flow. I don't really do any editing, to be honest. When I first started, I didn't know how to piece it together. So if I'm doing the video and the video stops, I didn't know how to put it all together. So I would do like part one, part two. So I'm learning, and if you look back on my videos, you'll see that I am getting better in terms of understanding how this social media online thing works. So I'm learning, but this is my style and this is how I do my videos. So it's just what you see is what you get. The raw, the natural, no, not a lot of editing, not a lot of music and all this. Every now and then I'm learning how to add music to certain videos. So I'm learning. And so, yeah, it's coming along. But anyway, I just want to do this video because I wanted to talk to you about if I was in the U.S. right now, I would probably be struggling. And I'm grateful that I'm not. I can't lie to you. I'm grateful that I'm here. And even though you see a lot of issues with people that come here from the West and they have to go back and they run out of money and this, that, and it is hard. Things will get tight for you. You have to think outside the box and you have to think of ways that you can manage your finances without family, without taking advantage of other people. You don't want to take advantage of other people to be able to sustain yourself because you do reap what you sow. And what you do to others will happen to you, or it could be worse. So just be mindful when you get in those situations where things get tight and or whatever, your first thought or idea shouldn't be to take advantage of people. If you, like I used to do, I had an extra room, right? So almost every place I've lived in since I've been living here in Africa has been 2 bedrooms. So if things get tight for me, I can rent a room out. I can charge whatever I choose to charge. And so I can rent a room out, whatever. And then also I have, I'm in business, so I have the business. And even though it's consultations, I do a lot of stuff, boots on the ground. So I do other things that I don't always mention online, family, which is also helping me to have been here. I make money here and there. I have different streams of income. So it might be a little bit online. So yeah, I haven't been monetized. So I really didn't get that kind of money. I'm just getting monetized. So that's just another stream of income. It's not, you have to have several streams of income. So if you have a business, even if it's small, you'll bring in some kind of income. Like I do consultations. My business is not booming. I don't get a whole lot of consultations. It varies. So I might get one a month. I might get 5 a month. I might not get none of the month, but I have other things that I'm doing with the business. I'm doing a land and building project. So I'm looking and working on some land. I have been very, very slow with it. It's been 5 years and I still haven't found, I thought I found something, family, but I haven't found what I'm really looking for. I know the location now. I know the vicinity in like the area that I'm looking at, but I haven't found the actual land. I've looked at 2 or 3 and I thought that this is it, but yeah, it wasn't it. So I'm still looking, and yeah, so if you decide that you want to come here, and if you come here and you're doing business and things look, it's not working the way that you thought it would in business, do a redirect. Just redirect, like GPS. When you go the wrong way, it says redirecting. Just redirect your ideas and your what you have going on. Just try to redirect it instead of just making the whole thing just fall completely apart. Try to redirect before it gets too far gone. So if you see that you're going in one direction in business and it's not bringing in like the money that you thought it would, or it's not attracting the customers that you thought it would, you just have to make some adjustments. You may have to, change the direction of the business or something like that. So little small moves that you can do to tweak your business plan instead of just shutting the whole thing down. So it's little things like that you have to be quick to do here in Africa, because you don't have that buffer like you do in the West, and you're not a citizen here. And so, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I'm just grateful that I'm here, and I have not had to deal with some of the issues that our brothers and sisters are going through, with the getting fired, with the losing the homes and the apartments and becoming homeless and living in cars and in container shipping, and living in storage. It's just a lot that I see, and when I see it, I'm so grateful for being here, y'all, because I have plenty of room here. I have a 2-bedroom. I have plenty of room. I do have a roommate, but I have plenty of room, and my rent is just very affordable. It's very affordable, and for the income that I have. So I base what I do on the income that I have, not on what other people give me. So my rent is affordable based on the money that I personally have. Whether I get a consultation or not, I have streams of income. So income is coming from different places, right? So, and even though it's not a whole lot, but it's enough to manage and to be on a budget and to be able to pay everything that I need to pay. And also, I always get blessed with surprises and unexpected blessings, financial blessings, just all the time. So I just know that the Father is watching over me. The scriptures say, if he cares for the sparrow, then you know that he cares for me. So if he cares for the birds and he takes care of them and the animals, what more could he do for us, his chosen, his children, his beloveds? So thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll do another video in the next couple of days, and I'll talk about my job. That's the next video. I'll talk about, excuse me, and share with you what I used to do at my previous career. I work for the finance company for Ford Motor Credit Company, and I'll share with you some of my experiences working there. I had some really good experiences working there, and not so good experiences. I had to tell a couple of Mzungus off. I'll tell y'all about it. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will do another video in the next couple of days. I'm going to say peace, family, salama, and see you guys in the next video, live or whatever. I need to be doing some lives too. So I'm going to start doing some lives. I need to learn how to I like when people grab like the comments and read them. I need to learn how to do that, family. I have StreamYard and I use it, but I don't see where to do that. So somebody tell me in the comment section how I do that when I do streams, when I go to StreamYard. How do I grab the comments and put them on the screen so I can read them? I like that idea. So I'll do I think I might do a live and talk about, I don't know if I want to do a video. I'll do a video about my previous job, and then the live, I'll think about what I want to talk about in the next couple of days. So I would say every 2 to 3 days, I'll try to do a video, because I'm trying to get this change. I'm trying to get this monetization change, y'all. I'm trying to do it. But anyway, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.